How's it going today? Today we're going to be working on this IH tractor behind me. It's a Cub LoBoy, a 1960. Today we're going to be taking the carburetor apart. Looks like it needs a new seal on the carburetor. I'm going to pop it apart. Never had one apart before, and clean it out. Make a new make a new gasket there, and put it back together. Hopefully it starts better. You can check the battery, make sure that it's charged up good. It's been cold this past 2-3 weeks since I started it last, but today's a beautiful day. Probably, I would say it feels 50s. I don't need a coat on, but I'm gonna have one on anyways. Why not? So let me pull the battery out, put it on my charger. I'm gonna take the carb off. We'll go in the garage, tear it apart, clean it up, and then we'll be back at it. We'll put it together, see if she starts up. All we had to do is unhook this. Surprisingly, came off pretty easy. We're gonna shut off the fuel valve, and then we're going to unloosen these two 7/16 bolts up top. Should pop right off then. Easy. Easy now. Okay, we got a cotter pin there, and I don't know if we have a cotter pin on the bottom. Oh, we sure do. Two cotter pins holding the thing on there. Alright, so now we have the carburetor off. Two bolts on top hold it up there. I'm going to remake a gasket for the top. Very easy, simple gasket there. If you can see that, you can see that the gasket is missing in here, and it would spit out gas when you're trying to start it, so that's one of the reasons why I'm digging into this. And plus, it is pretty filthy. It runs pretty good though for the most part, even with this being the way it is. Next step, clean her up, tear down. I'm gonna blow off all the grass I can, so with my air compressor, make that simple, easy. Stand by. Alright, next we're gonna take this apart, break it in half. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, it looks like, that holds this thing together. So let's make sure that we don't strip anything out. Take it easy on it. Pop this apart. That's pretty sludged up in there. It's surprising that it would run. Being like that, almost looks like water in there. See if we can get this peeled off without messing it up too bad. So to start off here, before I get too far, this is a 3/8 wrench to take off this bolt out of here. This is a 5/16 deep socket coming out of here. That's gummed up for sure. That's that piece there. You don't always have to use a punch for these. Sometimes they come out easily. I want to make sure there's no liquid in this. The float valve in there. Alright, we're going to get a 7/16 socket. Then we'll take out the jet let's see, let's go in from where we are. It's 1, 2, so 1 full turn and a hair. We're gonna clean this up. So we took it all apart. That's it right there. We got a pile of parts there. This is all gumped up in there. In general, it's not too bad. Next thing, I'm actually gonna use my Harbor Freight ultrasonic cleaner. I used it once before, but I use it on a mower that I'm pretty sure it's not the carburetor that's the problem. Bad compression, had gaskets, or maybe even bigger than that. This is gonna be my second time using this ultrasonic cleaner, so this will be a better review, I think, than that last one. And we'll throw all the parts in there besides the seals. We'll cut up some new seals, and we'll rock and roll and make this thing happen and get this thing running again. Alright guys, now we're going to run through the parts. What I ended up doing was putting some OxyClean and Dawn dish soap in a Ziploc bag. I put the part in there. That's how we're going to run it through. Then we just have to fill up the reservoir with water. We don't have to worry about contaminating our bucket or making it dirty or anything. We're going to run this one through. This one's been soaking for about 3-4 minutes now, so it looks like just soaking it has done something. We're going to put this on we're going to set it for the max, which is 480 seconds. We're going to turn it on. And that's annoying, so be back after. Alright, and I'm back after a battery change. Second bag finished, and we're going to be opening up these bags. I'm going to put the third bag in of, I'm just going to reuse this bag, I think. This one seems like it's doing better than the other for whatever reason. I don't know. But I'm going to be putting some, the jets and everything in there, run that through, clean everything up, and then put it together. And, well, actually, we need to make seals too. So we'll make seals, and let's get to it. That looks like it worked pretty darn good. Alright, time to remove everything from this ultrasonic cleaner. I'm going to spray everything off with Carb Clean and then hit it with the air compressor just to get all the water out and all the liquid out, and hopefully, and then we'll get it back together. We're going to be making a gasket for it. I'll show you very quickly how I do it and the tool that I use that makes it a lot easier for me to complete the gaskets. And instead of trying to use an X-Acto knife or something. A lot easier. Alright, let's get this thing put back together. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick wipe out of this stuff here. I mean, it's definitely better than it was. The outside looks a lot cleaner. Obviously, in these, if there was a lot of buildup, still a little bit in there, but overall, I mean, that's pretty darn clean. So I'm pretty happy with that. Down in there, there's a little bit, but it looks to be more stained than, nothing's coming up, the brown in the bottom, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now this one, let's open her up here. Actually cleaned up the top really nice. There's still a little residue on there. There's just a little bit on the edges. Yeah, there's hard gook stuff on there, but it did soften it up quite a bit. Let's try to wipe this off. I mean, yeah, that just wipes off now versus what it was before. It isn't bad. Is it worth 70 bucks? 80 bucks? I don't know. Haven't decided on that yet. So if you ever need a piece of wire that's small, pull it off of you can pull a piece out of your wire brush. I'm not sure if this is gummed up or what. It looks like it is. The bottom was plugged up. You know, you get your wire from your wire brush, and you can use that to clean everything out. It was definitely gummed up a bit. This is the part that goes up to your intake manifold. So there's 2 holes right in there. Again, that's where this comes in handy. You can kind of see them because there's like a black mist around. There's like a black mist around them. That looks pretty good to me. Make sure we're good and cleaned out. Make sure that all the holes. This one doesn't come through all the way, but we can just still run our hole around there. This one. This is where your float valve hits in there. So make sure that's clean and good in there. So I'm going to hit these all with some carb cleaning quick off the camera so I don't hit the camera at all. Be right back. Everything now is cleaned up. I just need to make the gasket. I have some gasket material over here. Easy. I'm going to put that on top, cut a piece out. Use some regular scissors. Now I could trace this one, but just lining it up, it doesn't look good. This will be a lot better. So we're going to put it on here. We're not going to move it at all. Very light taps. Hello? Wow, extended warranty. Did it come out pretty good? It's not perfect. The outside doesn't matter so much. It's as nice as you want to make it. It's the inside that matters more. So I'm just going to get like I'm going to try to get pretty close to the line. So we're not too shabby. We'll make sure that we got a pretty good edge there to go off of. That whole roll of material isn't that expensive. It's definitely worth having to roll around. It's sticking out there. If you want to get that deep into it, you can. I'm not going to. We'll line up best we can where it was. We're going to tap the circle into it. Now we got a pretty good circle there. Now the tool that I'm using is a leather hole punch snipper. The snipper doesn't work that well with it, but the leather hole punch does. You can snip off pieces as you go. I normally just use the snipper, so I'm going to make a cut all the way around here. Trying to see the line isn't always that easy. So again, it's not the cleanest, but it's pretty good, and it's a lot better than trying to get it with an X-Acto knife. Or, I mean, you can clean it up more. Kind of go as far as you want. It could go a little bit more in some spots. You gotta watch going, you know, just make sure you don't go over. But I'm not even gonna bother. So the next hole thing I'm going to do is this big one, or the small one over here, this little groove. Keep working at it here. Is it the cleanest looking thing there is? No. But is it going to work? Yeah. So not worried about it. All the holes are there. You can match it up to your old one if you want. Say, yeah, it's going to be good, it's not going to be good, whatever. I'm going to make sure it fits onto this side of it and everything lines up. So I think that'll do. Fits on there pretty good. I don't think there's nothing to worry about here, so that'll work. I'm just going to leave that on there. Not even going to worry about it. I think it's going to work good. So let's get all this put back together. It's the 5/16. This one's a 3/8. Alright. The valve seat, which is nice that they had it separate from the actual carburetor, easy to change. Make sure we don't forget the valve. Pop that back together. We're actually going to put it in from this side so it'll be easier. Just tap it if we have to. Just going to give it a light tap to get it in. Make sure we don't hurt that. Slide it all together. Get our lock washers. Screw this all together here. Alright, now we have that together. Definitely a lot cleaner. There's a lot of stuff in there, in the grooves. I mean, that's up to, you know, the more time you want to put into it, that's up to you, you know. So I'm not really looking to make this thing look like brand new. So that's going to do for me. I'm going to make this top seal out of, I'm just going to use the old one, and I'll show you how I do that. I just use a scribe. We'll cut a piece off of this. Line up, you can line up two edges so you can do less cutting. You take your scribe, your little pick, and just trace along the outside, get all your holes on the inside there. The biggest thing is not to let it move at all. So that one, very easy to see, and we're going to be able to cut it out really easily here. So far so good. Alright, there we go. Not too bad, it's not too jaggedy. And just let's make sure it's not going to hit that, which I think we're good. Perfect, okay. Not perfect, but pretty good. Alrighty, so now we have one clean carburetor. A lot better than it was. A new gasket. Definitely better than the old one. Again, where's the old one at? The old gasket looked like this. I don't even know how it got to that shape, but it shrunk in somehow. Here we are, guys. I just want the reminder. It's a quick reminder. Don't forget your jet in there. And we did one full turn and a hair out, just like it was prior. Let's make sure that this is cleaned up. Just gonna do a quick scrape on here. Okay, we're back, and we're in business now. Still a little tight, but it'll be alright. That'll help us keep it up on there. First thing we're going to do is hook up our rods to the bottom one first. This is probably usable. Alright, and then top one in. And find a cotter key for that. Alright. Try to split these. It took a little while because setting up the ultrasonic cleaner. I don't know how much I like that thing at this point. It seemed like it did clean up quite a bit of it. It definitely made the carburetor look cleaner. Softened up the stuff. I don't know if just soaking it in a hot water mix would be equally as good. So it's kind of open-ended for me right now. It's on there really good. Easy, squeezy. Last thing is make sure this is clean. We're gonna turn on the fuel, hook up our battery, and see where we're at here. Gonna turn on the gas, make sure it doesn't leak, start her up. Here we go. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching again. I think the battery's a little weak because it just takes a second to get kicked over. I'm going to look into that more. Not too big of a deal. But the ultrasonic cleaner, did it do a good job? I mean, kinda, yeah. Is it better than just brushing it and spraying it? Is it worth 80 bucks? If you do a lot of carburetors, probably worth it. If you have the time to put it in there and wait for it, also worth it. If not really worth it. I don't really know. So that's kind of my thing. I'm still up in the air about it. Alright, that's where I'm at. I'm up in the air. Carburetor's cleaned on it. One thing down. Probably do some fluid changes on it, get it running, post it for sale, and get it out of here. Oh yeah, I need to weld the deck up, so I'm going to be doing a little thing on that. Patching up the deck, making it look good, maybe painting it, probably. That'll be that. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, subscribe if you like the stuff. Leave any comments and stuff about ultrasonic cleaner, please, so we can get some good information on what solution to use. And that's it. Thanks, guys. See you later.